Success is not a matter of luck or mere talent. It is a result of discipline, mindset, and the unwavering commitment to personal growth. The road to achievement is often blocked not by external forces, but by the habits and thoughts we allow to dominate our lives. If you truly desire success, you must eliminate the barriers standing in your way. Avoid these 6 things and you will unlock doors you never thought possible. Success is a privilege reserved for those who dare to make decisions and take action without hesitation. Indecision is one of the most dangerous enemies of progress, silently robbing individuals of their dreams, potential, and opportunities. Every moment spent hesitating is a moment wasted, and in the grand scheme of life, time is the most valuable currency one possesses. The difference between those who achieve greatness and those who remain stagnant often comes down to one simple factor: decisiveness. Opportunities do not wait for those who hesitate. In a world that moves at an unforgiving pace, those who fail to make timely decisions often find themselves left behind. The individual who second guesses every choice, who hesitates in the face of uncertainty, will watch as others seize the chances that could have been theirs. Great ideas, bold visions, and promising opportunities mean nothing if they are not acted upon. The world does not reward those who sit on the fence. It rewards those who have the courage to commit. Indecision breeds weakness. Every time an individual hesitates, they strengthen the habit of inaction. Like a muscle that weakens from lack of use, the ability to take decisive action atrophies when it is not exercised. People who constantly second-guess themselves begin to lose confidence in their own judgment. They become trapped in a cycle of self-doubt, where every choice feels overwhelming. Every opportunity feels like a risk too great to take. This paralysis of thought leads to missed chances, unrealized potential, and a life ruled by fear rather than ambition. Decisiveness is the foundation of all great achievement. Every successful individual, from the great inventors to the most influential leaders, shares a common trait: the ability to decide and act without unnecessary delay. When Henry Ford revolutionized the automobile industry, he did not wait for perfect conditions or absolute certainty. He made bold choices and adjusted along the way. When pioneers in any field achieve breakthroughs, they do so not because they have all the answers, but because they trust their ability to figure things out as they go. The greatest ideas and opportunities often come disguised as uncertainty. No one ever has all the information, all the resources, or all the guarantees before making a decision. Waiting for perfect conditions is an illusion that keeps people trapped in mediocrity. Those who succeed understand that action itself brings clarity. The only way to truly know if a decision is right is to make it, take the first step, and adjust based on experience rather than speculation. Fear is the root of hesitation. People hesitate because they fear making the wrong choice, fear failing, or fear what others might think. But the truth is, failure to decide is often the worst decision of all. The person who takes no action guarantees failure, while the one who takes action, regardless of outcome, gains experience, wisdom, and momentum. Success does not require perfection, it requires movement. Even when mistakes are made, they become stepping stones to greater achievements. Every moment of hesitation is a moment lost forever. While one person spends weeks debating a decision, another takes action and moves forward. The person who acts learns, adapts, and improves, while the one who hesitates remains in the same place, trapped by their own inability to commit. Life rewards those who make things happen, not those who merely think about what could happen. The ability to make decisions quickly and effectively is a skill that can be developed. It begins with trust in oneself, trust in one's ability to learn from experience, and trust that no decision is final. Every great achiever has faced moments of uncertainty, but they moved forward anyway. The habit of making firm decisions strengthens the mind, builds confidence, and creates momentum. There is no success without risk. Every worthwhile endeavor requires stepping into the unknown. The person who demands certainty before acting will always be outrun by the one who embraces uncertainty and moves forward with courage. Life does not wait for the hesitant. It rewards those who dare to decide, to act, and to seize the opportunities in front of them. Failure is a word that instills fear in the hearts of many, yet it is the very foundation upon which success is built. The greatest barrier between an individual and their dreams is not lack of talent, resources, or opportunity. It is the fear of failing. This fear paralyzes, holding people back from taking the risks necessary to achieve greatness. Those who wish to succeed must understand that failure is not an enemy, but a necessary teacher, guiding them toward mastery, resilience, and eventual triumph. The world's most successful people are not those who have avoided failure, but those who have embraced it as part of the journey. Every great invention, every groundbreaking achievement, and every record-breaking success story is built on a foundation of trial and error. Thomas Edison, the man who lit up the world with his invention of the electric bulb, failed thousands of times before he achieved success. Yet he never saw those failures as defeats. He saw them as steps toward the ultimate breakthrough. He understood that failure is simply a result, a piece of information that brings clarity and refines the path forward. The fear of failure is often rooted in the desire for perfection. People hesitate to take action because they believe they must get everything right on the first attempt. But perfection is an illusion, and those who chase it only find themselves stuck in inaction. Progress, not perfection, is the key to success. The person who takes imperfect action will always be miles ahead of the one who waits for the perfect moment to begin. The road to success is never smooth, but every setback, every mistake, and every mistake provides valuable lessons that sharpen skills, refine strategies, and strengthen resolve. Society has conditioned people to see failure as a mark of incompetence rather than a stepping stone to success. From an early age, individuals are taught that mistakes should be avoided, that failure is something to be ashamed of. This mindset creates fear, fear of judgment, fear of looking foolish, fear of disappointing others, but the truth is, failure is not a reflection of inadequacy, it is evidence of effort. The only real failure is never trying at all. Those who never fail are simply those who never dared to attempt anything worthwhile. Fear of failure kills more dreams than failure itself ever could. It keeps people trapped in comfort zones, unwilling to take risks, unwilling to explore new possibilities. It whispers doubts into their minds, convincing them that they are not ready, not capable, not deserving of success. But success is not reserved for the fearless. It is reserved for those who feel fear, but act anyway. The difference between those who achieve their goals and those who remain stagnant is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to move forward despite it. Failure is a test of resilience. It separates those who are truly committed from those who are merely interested. Many people start with enthusiasm, but the moment they face obstacles, they retreat, convinced that they are not meant for success. But those who rise to the top understand that setbacks are part of the process. They do not allow temporary defeats to define them. Instead, they use them as fuel to push harder, to learn more, to refine their approach. Every failure strengthens their foundation, making their eventual success even greater. The lessons that come from failure are more valuable than any book, course, or mentor. Real wisdom is gained through experience, and experience often comes through mistakes. The person who fails and learns is far ahead of the one who avoids failure altogether. With each failure comes knowledge. Knowledge of what works and what doesn't, knowledge of strengths and weaknesses, knowledge of how to adapt and improve. Those who fear failure deprive themselves of this education, remaining stagnant, while others grow and evolve. Fear of failure is often tied to external validation. Many people are more concerned with how they appear to others than with their own personal progress. They fear that failing will make them look weak, incompetent, or unworthy. But those who are truly successful understand that external opinions are irrelevant. They do not seek approval, they seek results. They are willing to fail publicly, to stumble in front of others, because they know that the only opinion that matters is their own. Those who let fear of judgment control them will always be at the mercy of others, never truly living for themselves. Failure is temporary, but regret is permanent. The pain of failing is nothing compared to the pain of looking back and realizing that fear held you back from pursuing your dreams. The person who tries and fails will always be ahead of the one who never tried at all. Those who achieve greatness understand this. They take risks, they embrace uncertainty, they accept failure as part of the process, and in doing so, they unlock their full potential, rising above fear and stepping into the success that was always meant for them. The people you surround yourself with will either elevate you or pull you down. Every individual carries an energy, a mindset, and a way of thinking that influences those around them, whether consciously or unconsciously. The greatest achievers in history did not reach their success alone, nor did they allow themselves to be weighed down by those who lacked vision, ambition, or drive. The company you keep is a direct reflection of the future you are creating, and if you seek success, you must be intentional about the people in your life. Negative influences come in many forms. Some people openly discourage you, telling you that your dreams are unrealistic, that success is out of reach, or that you should settle for what you already have. They may mask their discouragement as concern, claiming they only want what's best for you, but their words plant seeds of doubt in your mind. Others may not openly oppose you, but their actions reveal their lack of belief in success. They live in mediocrity, accept average results, and encourage behaviors that lead to stagnation. If you spend enough time around these individuals, their mentality will begin to shape your own. Energy is contagious, whether positive or negative. The attitudes, beliefs, and behaviors of those around you will influence the way you think and act. If you surround yourself with people who constantly complain, blame others, and focus on obstacles rather than solutions, you will absorb that mindset. Even if you start with ambition and drive, prolonged exposure to negativity will erode your motivation and weaken your confidence. On the other hand, when you surround yourself with people who are focused, driven, and constantly striving for excellence, you will naturally rise to that level. Their conversations will challenge you, their actions will inspire you, and their expectations will push you beyond your perceived limits. Success is not only about knowledge and skill, but also about association. The right connections open doors to opportunities, insights, and resources that would otherwise be unavailable. A person surrounded by winners will gain knowledge that cannot be found in books. They will learn through observation, through mentorship, and through the mindset that successful people carry. Those who understand the importance of association do not spend time with those who bring them down. Instead, they actively seek out those who can lift them higher. Some of the most dangerous negative influences come from those closest to you. Family members, childhood friends, and longtime acquaintances may have the best intentions, but their lack of ambition can create an invisible ceiling over your potential. They may unintentionally discourage you from taking risks, from pursuing big goals, or from stepping outside of the norm. This is not because they wish to see you fail, but because your success challenges their own comfort zones. When they see you striving for more, it forces them to confront their own choices, and rather than change, they attempt to pull you back to their level. Recognizing this influence is crucial, and while cutting ties may not always be necessary, setting firm boundaries is. The most successful individuals often find themselves walking a lonely path at first. Growth requires separation, And as you elevate your mindset, you may find that certain relationships no longer align with your vision. This is not a loss, it is a necessary transformation. Those who are meant to grow with you will rise to meet your energy, and those who choose to remain stagnant will naturally fade into the background. It is better to walk alone for a while than to be surrounded by those who do not support your journey. Negative influences are not always obvious. Some people discourage you with words, but others do so with their habits. If you spend time with those who prioritize distractions over discipline, you will be tempted to do the same. If you are surrounded by people who make excuses instead of taking action, you will slowly adopt the same mentality. The behaviors of those around you shape your own, often in subtle ways that go unnoticed until they have already taken root. This is why it is essential to be vigilant about the energy you allow into your life. Replacing negative influences with positive ones is not always easy, but it is always necessary. Seeking out mentors, joining communities of like-minded individuals, and surrounding yourself with people who challenge you to be better will accelerate your growth. Conversations with successful individuals will shift your thinking, expose you to new possibilities, and reinforce the belief that success is achievable. When you are surrounded by those who expect greatness, you will begin to expect it from yourself. Success is a product of environment as much as it is a product of effort. Even the most talented, hardworking individuals can be held back by the wrong associations. The mind is a powerful tool, but it is also susceptible to influence. Guard it fiercely. Protect your energy. Choose your circle wisely. The people in your life will either be the wind beneath your wings or the weight that holds you down. If you truly desire success, you must make the choice that serves your highest potential. Excuses are the greatest enemy of progress, a silent thief that robs people of their dreams and potential. Those who make excuses justify their failures, delays, and lack of results by blaming circumstances beyond their control. But the truth is, every excuse is a self-imposed limitation, a barrier that stands between where a person is and where they want to be. Success does not come to those who rationalize inaction. It comes to those who take full responsibility for their lives, regardless of the challenges they face. The habit of making excuses starts small. It begins with justifying a missed opportunity, blaming bad luck, or pointing fingers at external factors. Over time, it becomes a deeply ingrained mindset. People convince themselves that success is not possible because of their background, financial situation, lack of time, or lack of connections. But the reality is that countless individuals have faced the same or even worse circumstances and still achieved greatness. The difference is not in their conditions, but in their mindset. Those who succeed refuse to let excuses define them. They do not wait for perfect conditions. They create opportunities where none exist. Excuses give people a false sense of comfort. They allow individuals to avoid discomfort, risk, and responsibility. It is easier to say, "I can't do this because of my situation," than to admit, "I am not taking action." But success requires embracing discomfort, stepping into the unknown, and pushing past limitations. Every great achievement is born from someone who decided to stop making excuses and start finding solutions. One of the most common excuses is lack of time. Many people claim they do not have enough hours in the day to pursue their dreams, build their skills, or work on their goals. But time is not the issue. Prioritization is. The same 24 hours are available to everyone, yet some use them to create wealth, build empires, and master their craft, while others use them to scroll through social media, watch television, or engage in meaningless distractions. The truth is, people make time for what truly matters to them. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is how they use their time. Another common excuse is lack of resources. Many believe they cannot succeed because they do not have money, education, or the right connections. But history is filled with stories of individuals who started with nothing and built extraordinary success. They did not wait for resources to appear. They used what they had and made it work. They understood that creativity, persistence, and resourcefulness are more valuable than any external advantage. Money does not create success, mindset does. Those who refuse to make excuses will find ways to get the knowledge, skills, and opportunities they need regardless of their starting point. Fear often disguises itself as an excuse. People convince themselves that they are not ready, that they need more time, or that they must wait for the right moment. But the perfect moment never comes. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, and fear of uncertainty keep people stuck in the same place for years. Those who succeed are not fearless. They simply refuse to let fear control their decisions. They take action despite fear, knowing that growth comes from stepping outside of comfort zones. Excuses also come in the form of blaming others. Some people hold on to resentment, believing that their failures are caused by unsupportive family, unfair bosses, or an unjust system. While challenges and obstacles are real, they do not define a person's future. Every successful individual has faced setbacks, betrayals, and unfair treatment. The difference is in their response. They do not dwell on what others did to them. They focus on what they can do for themselves. They refuse to give their power away by making others responsible for their success or failure. Taking full responsibility for one's life is the first step towards success. It means accepting that every result, good or bad, is a direct outcome of one's choices, actions, and mindset. It means looking at setbacks not as excuses but as lessons. It means shifting from a victim mentality to a mindset of ownership. When a person stops making excuses, they take back control of their future. They stop waiting for luck, circumstances, or other people to change, and they start changing themselves. Those who refuse to make excuses develop an unstoppable drive. They find ways to work around obstacles, adapt to challenges, and keep moving forward no matter what. They develop resilience, persistence, and the ability to turn failures into stepping stones. The moment a person stops making excuses is the moment they unlock their true potential. It is not about having perfect conditions. It is about having an unshakable commitment to making things happen. Excuses are the chains that keep people trapped in mediocrity. The only way to break free is to take full responsibility, reject limitations, and commit to action. Those who succeed do not have fewer challenges. They simply refuse to let those challenges become excuses. They choose to find a way rather than find a reason why they can't. And that single decision makes all the difference. Procrastination is the silent killer of dreams. It disguises itself as harmless delay, whispering that there is always tomorrow, always another chance, always more time. But every moment wasted is a moment lost forever, and those who fall into the trap of procrastination find themselves watching opportunities slip through their fingers. Success is not built on intentions. It is built on action. And those who refuse to act in the present will always struggle to build the future they desire. The greatest deception of procrastination is that it feels justified. People tell themselves they are waiting for the right time, the right mood, the right circumstances. They convince themselves that they need more information, more preparation, more confidence before they begin. But in reality, the perfect moment never comes. Those who achieve greatness do not wait for everything to be in place. They start with what they have and figure out the rest along the way. The difference between success and failure is not talent, luck, or resources. It is the ability to take action without hesitation. Procrastination often comes disguised as productivity. Many people stay busy but never truly move forward. They spend hours planning, researching, or organizing, but they never execute. They convince themselves they are making progress when, in reality, they are just delaying action. Success is not about how much time is spent thinking, it is about how much is done. Those who break free from procrastination understand that imperfect action is always better than perfect inaction. They know that progress comes from doing, not just from planning. Fear is at the heart of procrastination, fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of making mistakes. These are the invisible chains that hold people back. Many delay taking action because they worry about not being good enough, about looking foolish, about facing criticism, but success is impossible without failure. Every successful individual has faced setbacks, learned from mistakes, and improved through experience. Those who procrastinate in an attempt to avoid failure are actually ensuring it. The only true failure is refusing to try. Discipline is the antidote to procrastination. Those who succeed do not rely on motivation, which comes and goes. They build habits that force them to take action even when they do not feel like it. They understand that waiting for the right mood is a trap. If success were dependent on feelings, no one would achieve anything worthwhile. The key is to develop routines, set deadlines, and hold oneself accountable. Small daily actions repeated consistently lead to massive results over time. Procrastination creates a cycle of stress and regret. The longer a person delays, the more overwhelming the task becomes. Anxiety builds, deadlines loom, and the pressure intensifies. Yet, despite the stress, many still do not act, hoping that avoiding the task will somehow make it disappear. But avoidance only makes problems worse. The moment action is taken, the weight lifts and momentum is created. Those who refuse to procrastinate understand that the hardest part of any task is starting. Once they begin, everything becomes easier. Opportunities do not wait. The world moves fast, and those who hesitate are left behind. Many people look back on their lives with regret, not because of the things they did, but because of the things they never started. The business they never launched, the skill they never mastered, the chances they never took. These missed opportunities haunt those who let procrastination control them. The most successful individuals are those who take immediate action when an opportunity presents itself. They do not wait for perfect conditions. They create success by acting before others do. Procrastination destroys self-confidence. Each time a person delays taking action, they reinforce the belief that they are incapable, unprepared, or unworthy. Over time, this creates a mindset of doubt and hesitation. On the other hand, those who take action, even in small ways, build confidence with every step. Action creates momentum, and momentum builds belief. The more a person does, the more they realize they are capable of much more than they once thought. Breaking free from procrastination requires a shift in mindset. Instead of waiting for the perfect moment, one must adopt the belief that now is the only time that matters. Instead of fearing mistakes, one must understand that mistakes are part of the learning process. Instead of letting fear control them, one must use fear as fuel to take action. Those who succeed are not those who never feel hesitation. They are those who act despite it. Procrastination is the enemy of success, and those who truly desire greatness must refuse to give in to it. They must take action, no matter how small, every single day. They must push past doubt, ignore distractions, and move forward even when they do not feel ready. Success belongs to those who do, not those who wait. The only moment that exists is now, and those who seize it will always be ahead of those who let it pass by. A weak mindset is the greatest barrier to success. It is the invisible force that keeps people trapped in mediocrity, unable to rise above their circumstances or unlock their true potential. A person's mindset determines how they respond to challenges, setbacks, and opportunities. It dictates their level of resilience, their willingness to take risks, and their ability to push forward when things become difficult. Those who achieve greatness do so not because they have fewer obstacles, but because they have developed the mental strength to overcome them. A weak mindset manifests in many ways. It appears as self-doubt, causing people to question their abilities and hesitate when they should act. It shows up as fear of failure, fear of criticism, fear of the unknown, keeping people stuck in their comfort zones instead of pushing toward growth. It appears as victimhood, where individuals blame their circumstances, upbringing, or luck instead of taking responsibility for their future. The person who allows these thoughts to control them will always find reasons why success is out of reach, while those with a strong mindset will find ways to achieve it despite the odds. Resilience is the foundation of a strong mindset. Life will always present difficulties, but how a person responds to them determines whether they rise or fall. Those with a weak mindset crumble at the first sign of failure. They give up when things become uncomfortable or difficult. They allow one rejection, one mistake, or one setback to convince them that they are not meant for success. But those with a strong mindset understand that failure is not the end. It is a lesson, a stepping stone, a necessary part of the journey. Every successful individual has faced defeat, but they refuse to let it define them. They learn, adjust, and continue forward with even greater determination. Self-discipline is another key trait of a strong mindset. Those who lack discipline allow their emotions to dictate their actions. They work hard when they feel motivated, but lose focus when motivation fades. They make promises to themselves, but break them at the first sign of difficulty. Success requires consistency, and consistency requires discipline. The most accomplished people in the world are not always the most talented, but they are the most disciplined. They do what needs to be done even when they don't feel like it. They train their minds to push past discomfort and stay committed to their goals no matter what. A weak mindset is also defined by a lack of belief. People who doubt themselves will never take the necessary risks to achieve greatness. They will settle for less because they do not believe they are capable of more. They will sabotage their own progress because deep down they do not think they deserve success. But those who cultivate a strong mindset develop an unshakable belief in themselves. They understand that their potential is limitless and that any skill, any achievement, and any level of success can be attained with enough persistence and effort. They refuse to entertain thoughts of failure because they know their only limitation is the one they place on themselves. Excuses are another symptom of a weak mindset. Those who are mentally weak always have a reason why they cannot succeed. They blame their past, their circumstances, their lack of resources, or the opinions of others. They believe life is happening to them instead of realizing that they have the power to shape their own future. A strong mindset rejects excuses. It refuses to dwell on what is missing and instead focuses on what can be done with what is available. The person with a strong mindset takes full ownership of their life, knowing that success is not given, it is earned through relentless effort. One of the most damaging aspects of a weak mindset is the need for external validation. Many people never achieve their dreams because they are too focused on seeking approval from others. They hesitate to take risks because they fear criticism. They hold back their potential because they are afraid of what people might say. But a strong mindset is independent of outside opinions. It does not seek permission to be great. It does not shrink in the face of doubt or negativity. Those with a strong mindset understand that success often requires going against the crowd, standing alone, and being willing to be misunderstood. They are not concerned with fitting in. They are focused on winning. Comfort is another trap of a weak mindset. Many people do not achieve success because they prioritize ease over progress. They avoid discomfort, choosing short-term pleasure over long-term growth. They settle for a stable, predictable life instead of pushing themselves to reach higher. But nothing great is achieved within the comfort zone. Growth requires discomfort, risk, and effort. The person with a strong mindset embraces these challenges, knowing that every hardship they endure is shaping them into someone greater. They understand that the pain of discipline is far less than the pain of regret. Developing a strong mindset is a choice. It is a daily decision to reject weakness, to refuse to let fear, doubt, or excuses dictate one's actions. It is the commitment to keep moving forward no matter how difficult the journey becomes. Those who master their minds master their lives. The world does not reward those who give up easily. It rewards those who persist, who fight, who refuse to accept anything less than success. A weak mindset will always keep a person small, but a strong mindset will take them anywhere they desire to go.